the last decade, solar power capacity has grown tremendously to become the fastest growing source of renewable energy in the world. Nigeria has an electrification rate of 45%. Despite this relatively low figure, in conjunction with the significant issues undermining power supply in the country, demand for electricity keeps increasing, especially from commercial and industrial business sectors. Joining us now to discuss the economic benefits of alternative energy for modern businesses is Kolawole Akinboye, an engineer, energy professional, project manager, and currently the country manager Nigeria for Westa Solar, a commercial and industrial solar venture in West Africa. It's good to have you with us, Kolawole. Now, alternative energy, yes, but embracing it in Nigeria despite challenges on the national power grid is painfully slow. What do you make of that scenario?
Well, the truth is it's been painfully slow because of the history of solar and renewable energy in Nigeria has not been exactly the best. So historically, there have been issues around understanding how to deploy it, understanding the importance of solar energy and how to actually make it work. In the beginning, we started solar energy in Nigeria with installations that were not exactly of the highest quality or the standard. And then some of them were government projects that after funding and building these projects, maintenance was abandoned and the projects did not exactly work as they were supposed to. So that has really affected the uptake of renewable energy and especially solar energy in Nigeria. But things are changing. We have companies like ours, Westa Solar, coming into the market to both fund, build, and manage solar projects that are not just economically viable, but are of the highest technical quality.
So we'll be talking about renewable energy during our conversation with you, but let me quickly get you to hone in on the economic benefits of alternative energy, especially for modern businesses. Can you sort of elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yes. Right. So a lot of businesses end up spending so much on energy. So, for example, the cost of goods sold in Nigeria, if Nigerian businesses had the access to energy that South African businesses had, they would reduce their cost of goods sold by up to 40%. So that already shows how much energy is a part of making goods expensive within the country. So when you have the right kind of solar installation or renewable energy installation that is helping you to mitigate and reduce your overall cost of energy, you can affect your bottom line as a business and be more efficient and compete properly in the global economy.
Indeed. Now, Nigeria is blessed with natural resources like wind and, of course, sun, others devoid of fossil fuel technology. So what will it take for us to tap into it, especially from a commercial point of view?
Right. What it would take really is mostly funding. So I'll use the example of our own organization, which is a collaboration between RP Global, an Austrian renewable energy developer, and Olu Solar, which is a leader within West African solar, and the company is Westa Solar. And what we do is we bring funding from outside Nigeria to back projects that are bankable. So then we build projects that would help organizations, help companies, like the first project we've done in Kano State, Nigeria, which is the largest commercial and industrial solar project in that particular city, is about 0.5 megawatt of solar deployed for an actual industry, for a factory, and it is saving that factory up to 15% of its cost of energy on a yearly basis. So what would help renewable energy to really become popular in Nigeria is more funding, more companies like ours investing into building the right kind of projects that deliver value to the end user.
And supposing we did have this funding, what sort of impact are we likely to have with regards to renewable energy here in Nigeria? So, for the impact of renewable energy, Nigeria happens to sit in a very sweet spot when it comes to the sun and to solar energy. We have massive irradiation. We have one of the best irradiations in the world. We have up to 1,500 kilowatt hours per kilowatt peak of solar in places in like Kano, Abuja, even down south here in Ibadan, Lagos, all the way to Asaba and Port Harcourt. We are able to generate appreciable amounts of energy from the free sunlight that is coming every single day. And every day we are not harnessing this sunlight, we are wasting the possibilities we have to reduce our reliance on fossil fuel generators, which are not helping us in any way.
Indeed, Kolawole, now, besides the issue of funding, there's also the issue of technology, which is constantly evolving on renewable energy. Do we have enough on a commercial basis here?
Sure, we do. So what we have in Nigeria is a growing awareness of standards. You know, we have a lot of work being done by the Rural Electrification Agency, government bodies that are helping to standardize, like the Standards Organization of Nigeria, that are all helping to create the right standards for the right kind of solar equipment, renewable energy equipment to come into the country. There are lots of things that are being done, especially by associations like the Renewable Energy Association of Nigeria, to help to standardize even the taxes for the right kind of innovative equipment that help in the deployment of renewable energy in Nigeria. And as long as we continue to fight that battle to ensure only the right standard of equipment come into Nigeria, we fight the battle to ensure that the equipment are not taxed in ways that would make them too expensive for bankable projects, we will only grow in our solar capacity as a country.
Now, I'm glad you talked about the right standard of equipment, because the question I was going to ask you has to do with the issue of fake power products. I wanted you to touch on that just a little bit.
Right. So, of course, Nigeria as a country has suffered from fake products over its lifetime. It's something that is pervasive across almost every sector. And of course, it's also within the energy sector, also fake products and all of that. But what would help companies to avoid and people to avoid fake products is to deal with organizations that are known, organizations that have a track record, because the products that are standard, they are known. The places where they are bought, the places where they are brought in from, the engineers that deploy them, they are all, it's not a secret, it's known. So if you work with companies like Westa Solar, for example, you would have an assurance that the equipment that you are using for your projects are of the highest quality. Of course, the government is doing its part to standardize this equipment, but also what helps a lot more is to work with trusted brands. It always helps to work with the trusted brands. That way you are assured of the quality of what you are being deployed.
Indeed, Kolawole, we're still talking about government here. There's always emphasis on the national grid when it comes to power distribution in Nigeria. So what will it take for the state governments to have their own independent power network with alternative energy as a major backup power source, you think?
So if you listen closely to the body language and the things that have been said by the federal government over the last few years, you would see that distributed energy is being pushed heavily. You know, you would have arms of government helping to really push the concept of distributed energy, knowing that our grid, as it is, the investment required to make the grid to meet up with what Nigerians need is quite massive. So distributed energy is the way forward. State governments can also be very innovative with deploying distributed energy, especially when it's renewable. Because as long as you can create the right environment and you can allow the capital to come in and the right kind of companies like ours to do projects with you, you would be able to really unleash the capacity of distributed energy to take care of all the open parts of your energy mix, all the parts where the grid is not able to meet up with.
Now, you talk about capacity and distributed energy, but how do we reduce, especially for residents, out-of-pocket power costs?
So when you want to reduce your power costs, part of what is important and part of what we do as an organization is energy efficiency. It's important for us as a nation, and historically we've not been very disciplined about being efficient about our energy use, because in the beginning of our usage of energy as a people, it was more of a public good, which meant we were using what the government was giving and we're not exactly paying for the value of what we were using. Now, an understanding of the value we are paying, because the grid costs will continue to increase. Now that means that we are paying the right value for energy. The only way we can reduce our out-of-pocket expenses are to do two things. One is to continually be efficient with our usage of energy, use the right kind of energy equipment and use them in the right time of the day. Secondly is to include solar in your energy mix. You have free energy from the sun that can reduce your overall energy bill. Why not take advantage of that? Put some solar into your energy mix and watch your out-of-pocket expenses reduce drastically.
Still talking about the energy mix you just rightly mentioned, where do you see the alternative or renewable energy venture in Nigeria in the next 10 to 15 years on account of current efforts and the prospect on a commercial basis?
So there's a lot of attention worldwide on Nigeria in terms of renewable energy, alternative energy. One thing Nigeria has going for it is we did our energy reforms years back, and we've moved ahead of many other African countries in the reform of our energy sector. And what we've seen is there is a huge demand in Nigeria. Nigeria has one of the largest demands for alternative energy in the whole world. There are a lot of companies, organizations that are looking at Nigeria as the place to bring in money, because we know that bridging this huge energy gap, there are values that can be created for people, and when you create value the right way, money can be made in an ethical way by global organizations. Therefore, over the next decade, I see the Nigerian alternative energy sector growing in leaps and bounds based on a lot of factors like the funding coming in, World Bank support, the Nigerian government understanding the importance of distributed energy, and companies like Westa Solar continually investing in businesses in Nigeria, helping businesses to save energy by the use of solar and other alternative forms of energy. Over the next decade, renewable energy is going to more than double in terms of its impact in Nigeria.
All right, then, Kolawole Akinboye, an engineer and country manager for Westa Solar. It's been wonderful you enlightening us on the economic benefits of alternative energy for modern businesses. Many thanks for coming on the program.